Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a f***ing ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips.
I'm Molly Bay.
Today is December 20th, 2021, better known as...
the day after the world ended.
The day the earth stood still. Oh my gosh. You know, it would have been nice if we would have had a game yesterday.
Yeah.
I missed that.
I know.
It just sucks that,
Coulda.
you know, we didn't play. There was nothing on TV for us to watch.
I know. It really sucked on a Sunday.
I don't even remember much of yesterday.
No.
Just lounged around the house. Didn't do anything.
Very relaxing day.
No game for the Buccaneers. It was a bye week. It literally was. We didn't score any points. How does that happen? How does the highest scoring team in the league not score any points? I'll tell you how. They missed field goal.
Yes. That was the big one.
They dropped 12 passes. 12.
Wow.
Yeah. I counted them. 12. Got to be the highest of our season.
Yeah.
Yes. So that'll do it, I guess. All right, guys, we got a not really good podcast for you.
We got a show.
We got a show.
And we're here.
We're just here. We're going to be like JPP. We're just going to be
So,
bodies blabbing,
No
blah, blah, blah. We're going to cover the game.
Begrudgingly.
Begrudgingly, yes. Molly's got some news for us, too. You might hear some coughing in the background. That's her daughter. She stayed home from school today because she's not feeling good.
Sickened.
Got a sicken. Molly's not feeling well either.
Yeah. It's just spreading
around the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel strong as an ox.
Oh, good.
You know what it is? It's all
so
the
glad
drinking.
you can bring us soup and
Hey,
drinks and medicine. You can be Nurse Ralph.
that's what I'm here for, man. I like playing doctor. But Dr. Ralph. That didn't go across.
What? Butt doctor? What she said?
What are butt doctors called? Proctologists.
Proctologist.
Oh, my goodness. No, thank you. You see, that there's certain jobs on this planet where I'm just like, there's no possible way I could do it. Proctologist is one of them. I just couldn't do it.
Really? It's just nurse for me. Any medical thing. I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to be surrounded by human misery. You know,
Yeah, I
like
just
being a
don't.
police officer. No, thank you. Pretty much anything in the medical field. Prison
Mhm.
guards.
Teacher. No, thank you. I just...
Or an embalmer or a mortician. I just, you know, God, you see people at their worst all the day. That's, ugh. Anyhow, let's get on to...
I mean, it's a perfect segue, human misery.
That's what I was
into
gonna
the
say.
Saints
I
game.
was going to say, let's get into a deeper subject or a worse subject. How the Bucs performed yesterday. Man, you know, we were so close in our score predictions. You predicted 23-38 Bucs.
Oh, okay.
So you were only 38 points off. I predicted 21-41 Bucs. So I was a little bit more off than you were. Close though, man. Close. Gosh. We are Nostradamuses.
We almost had it.
I totally did not see that coming at all. Now, you know, I knew their defense was going to give us fits. They always do. But, man, we shot ourselves in the foot. And I don't mean to take away from the Saints, but I'm going to because they suck. We just offensively performed atrocious, you know. And it was really our receivers and our offensive line. I haven't looked at the All-22 yet. It doesn't come out till tomorrow. But, man, I'm anxious to see how our offensive line screwed up so bad. I mean, Brady was getting pressured all game. Well, they have 4 sacks.
Yes.
And all 4 of them were on third downs.
And I feel like all of them were on Kappa. At least 2 that I know of.
Yeah, he was getting whooped. Well, I saw one time Jensen was blocking a guy. The guy, while he was blocking a guy, the guy that was in front of Jensen acted like he was rushing forward. Then he turned around, turned sideways, and pushed Jensen down. And the guy that Jensen was blocking twisted around him. The guy that pushed Jensen down twisted around that guy and then got around Kappa that way because Kappa was too busy worried about the guy that pushed Jensen down. So I I guess that's legal, and it was actually a very good defensive move. I was impressed with it. I was like, damn.
I will say I think it was a good defensive showing by both sides.
Yes.
I mean, we held them to 3 field goals.
Oh, God, yeah. Our defense played great. You couldn't ask for any better. Maybe some turnovers.
Yeah, I thought the defense played great. Yeah, they could have made some splash plays, but
yeah, that Andrew
I have
Adams.
no complaints.
No,
whatsoever.
not at all. That Andrew Adams almost interception, that would have turned the game around.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But credit to the Saints defense. Like I think they played
hush your mouth
ridiculously well. Do you think they were purposely trying to injure our guys?
I don't know. Brady seemed kind of mad throughout most of the game, but towards the end, he was chewing the refs out. And then when he ran over to the Saints sideline and cussed out their coach. Now, I heard it was Dennis Allen, but I could only see him from the back, and I couldn't tell who he was. I recorded it, and I was like, man, I don't. Is that Dennis Allen or not? I couldn't tell, but whoever it was, it looked to me like Brady had some choice words along the lines of, "Go F yourself, you effing bitch." I'm not a lip reader, but that's what I got from it. And I mean, he was almost in the dude's face. He ran all the way over there. And that was after he kind of chewed out the refs.
Yeah. He told the refs that when they threw a DPI, he said it's about effing time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's the Saints were playing to injure. I don't want to throw that accusation out there, but it's the nature of the game now that all these guys go low. They go for the knees.
That's
how
what
you
BA
tackle
was saying.
Yeah.
Like the hit on Chris Godwin. He's saying, perfectly legal. And that's what happens when you emphasize the hits to the head.
Yeah.
They go low.
I mean, if you look, almost all of our tackles are like that. We go to the knees.
Yeah.
Or the ankles or the legs, the bottom half anyhow. And it's league wide. It's been that way for a few years. And we're seeing a lot more knee injuries and hip injuries and ankle injuries and stuff. And it's just going to keep happening until the NFL gets another crow up their butt and goes, well, we need to look out for player safety. So we need to make rules so that you can't tackle them below the waist or something.
Well, Brady said that he was on the phone with the NFLPA and he's been lobbying to get the rule changed to where you can't hit receivers below the knees. He said, receivers are the only position where you can do that. Like you can't do it to quarterbacks. And so he said in the offseason he may have discussions with the rules committee about it.
That stuff's going to kill this game, man. I think the concussion stuff's killing the game, but yeah, that's just me. It's what happens when you get a bunch of lawyers and medical people involved in anything. They will kill it. Which, that brings me to the Chris Godwin injury. If you're not aware, we had 7 starters knocked out of this game. Big ones being Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Fournette, I think Gronk towards the end, Levante David towards the end, O'Connor towards the end, and somebody else I can't remember. But the Chris Godwin, he got hit, and when I saw it, I was like, oh, he's out. But he got up, walked off the field. He was just limping a little bit, which I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive.
I was worried about his neck.
Yeah, because his head whiplashed.
Yeah.
But he went to the sideline, and he was running back and forth, and he tried going back out, but they wouldn't let him. And now he's out for the season. He's going to miss the playoffs, the regular season, everything. No more Chris Godwin.
Yep.
So it's the doctors that decided that. Chris Godwin wanted to go back out, and that's what we see a lot now, and we're going to start seeing more of it the more power they get, is that they're going to be telling guys, no, you can't go back out on the field. And the guys are like, no, I'm fine. I can do it. Like, no. And that's part of football. Part of football is fighting through injuries. Whatever. Feel like I'm the lone voice crying in the forest, whatever. Everybody else is like, yes, player safety. I'm like, no. There are guys that will play this game for free and kill each other.
That's true.
Now that it's gotten to be multi-billion-dollar industry, you got to protect everything. Anyhow, don't want to get on that, but here's what I will say. This is for all the people who were talking about the Bucs and their penalties, you should be extremely happy about that game Sunday because we only had 3 penalties. And it goes to exactly what I was saying, that penalties mean absolutely nothing. You know, we had 3 penalties, scored no points. So which would you prefer? 12 penalties a game, 115 yards, or win the damn game? You know, 12 penalties, 150 yards in penalties, win the game, or 3 penalties for what, 15 yards, some crap like that?
I want to say 20.
Yeah, 3 for 20, and you lose
30.
the game.
30 yards.
30 yards. Which would you prefer?
Win.
Exactly. Not only that, let's talk about the stats guys. Explain this one, stats guys. Mm-hmm. Which, you know, I like stats, but they're a tool. They're more of a fun thing than they are. Anybody that comes at me with stat analysis, I'm just going to ignore you right away. But not only did we have fewer penalties, we won in first down conversions, third down conversions, rushing yards, passing yards, penalties, completion percentage, and time of possession.
Wow.
We won in every single category that stat guys would say if you win in those categories, you're going to win.
I would say with the exception of the turnover battle.
Yeah. 2-0, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they only had 212 total yards.
That's crazy. To our 302.
Yeah. It's insane. But like I said, we had 12 dropped passes. 12. You can't.
Were our guys scared to catch the ball? That's kind of.
You kind of got that feeling a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, because no one was out there hitting people, and they were not playing around. They were very physical, and our defense was very physical. But it just seems like, you know, our guys were not prepared for the game on offense. You know?
Well, was it the injuries, or was it we were kind of playing like garbage before the injuries, and then just kind of insult to injury?
Well, we had 5 missed passes and dropped passes in the first half. Godwin had 1, Johnson had 1, Gronk had 2, and Brate had 1.
God, Gronk just had like the worst performance I've ever seen.
He had 4 dropped passes.
What is wrong with him?
Yeah, he led the team. Vaughn had 2. I think the only 2 thrown to him, which that's like 7 dropped passes in his career. And I think he's had 10 passes thrown to him. No, I'm dead serious.
I know. I don't understand. I don't get it.
And according to Bruce Arians, Ronald Jones, who was playing well.
He's the only person on our team playing well.
Well, no, Fournette was playing well. Fournette was playing really good until he got hurt. And then Ronald Jones comes in and pops off 2 huge plays, 2 of our biggest plays, if not our biggest plays. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden he just disappeared, and everybody's like, what the hell happened to Ronald Jones? Bruce Arians said he was gassed. And you're like, whoa, no way. Here's your chance.
That's true. Like, he quit on the team.
Yes, that's how I felt too. I was like, oh, man. So then we were left with Vaughn in there. So we got our 3rd string receivers, our 3rd string running back, and they pretty much showed why they were 3rd string. Mm-hmm. O.J. Howard had 1 pass, 1 drop. He had 1 pass to him and 1 drop.
Yeah.
Vaughn had 2 passes thrown to him and 2 drops. He dropped 100% of his passes. Howard dropped 100% of his passes. Brate had 2 dropped passes. I think he caught 2, dropped 2.
Jalen Darden had 3 targets, 0 receptions. So he had 3.
Yeah, he had that one where Brady threw a beautiful bomb. Darden got held up a little bit, but then got free of the guy. And if he would have stretched out for it, he would have caught it, and he gave up on it right before it hit. I do not understand that mentality. And that's some Deshaun Jackson crap right there. If it doesn't fall exactly right in my hand, I ain't going to catch it.
Yeah.
But then you got Gronk, who Brady threw the beautiful pass to him for a touchdown.
In his gut.
It hit him in the stomach. He wasn't even looking for it.
No. All he had to do was just put his arm out. Like
right.
A little bit.
Do you think maybe they should teach the receivers to just walk around with their arms out in a catching position and have Brady just throw it into their arms?
I know.
They should always have their arms out. Because how many times has that happened this year where guys have got hit with the ball and they didn't catch it because they didn't have their arms up?
I know. It is so infuriating.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I think their defense played really well, but we didn't do ourselves any favors, for sure.
I think it was a big combination between, they beat us, they whooped us, and then we whooped ourselves. I mean, 12 drop passes. That's just, there's no way you can win like that. You can't even move down the field, which we couldn't do.
No, at all.
But I really want to look at the offensive line and see what happened there, because it looked like they were all getting beat. I saw Wirfs get knocked down, just ran over top one time.
Good Lord.
But, we were beating their offensive line too. We had Taysom Hill under pressure every snap.
Yeah. I'm looking at the longest drive we had was 59 yards, and that was the one where Brady fumbled.
That was so hurtful. I was like, ooh, we're going to get a field goal finally. We were in field goal range. And then he fumbled it. And he got up there and said something to the guy that recovered it.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he walked over to him. He was mad he was in people's faces. And
throwing the tablet on the side of
destroyed it. Did you see it? I mean, the screen was hanging off of it. And yeah, he totally destroyed it.
I love that. It certainly beats having players dancing on the sidelines during a loss. Like, I would much rather have someone pissed who's as pissed as I am, acts like they give a shit. Yeah,
when he was sitting there punching the ground.
Yeah.
I was like,
don't hurt your hand, dude.
And I was going, don't hurt the earth. I could feel that here. That's Tom Brady, yo. He's going to split the earth in half. But, I'm not a big fan of leaders showing emotion like that. It's, I don't know. I'm seeing it with Kyler Murray. He's really getting emotional and, yelling at his players. And I think it's kind of affecting the team negatively. Brady, of course, has supreme leadership skills, as we have seen, but I'm just not a fan of your leader.
Temper tantrums on the sideline.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, throwing the tablet ain't bad, punching the ground and stuff like that, but.
Yeah, because I didn't think he was, directing it at anyone.
Yeah. So, Brady's first pass of the game, almost intercepted. Mm-hmm. And, it was funny. I didn't have any problem with it at all. I was kind of almost hoping it was intercepted, because I was like, well, that's usually when that happens, we play pretty good after that, But they called it back. And, during this whole game, I mean, you can testify to this all day long. I was like, I am not worried about this game at all. Mm-hmm. This is not, we're just going to blow them out. I feel it. And I was that way all the way until the fourth quarter. I was like, all we need is 6 points. All we need is a touchdown. We're going to get it.
Yeah, I didn't.
And then when they kicked that last field goal, I was like, oh, crap. We're going to lose. But yeah, Brady, all four of Brady's sacks were on third down. Mm. And they were drive-killing sacks. That's when you want a sack, third down. Every single one of them. That was insane. Saints had pretty good special teams. Their first punt return brought them up to the 40. Our special teams were horrible. We missed a field goal. We had a horrible punt by Pinion. It was 30 yards.
People are mad at Pinion.
Yeah.
He's kind of been inconsistent, it seems like.
Yeah. Then we had Stewart, Mr. Irrelevant, that I love. I think he's great. The Viking, I call him. Got that roughing the kicker penalty, which total BS. I mean, it's just technically, yes, it was roughing the kicker. But that's one of those plays where it's kind of like when they graze the quarterback's helmet with their finger and it's called roughing the kicker or roughing the quarterback. You're like, come on. That was one of those plays. He totally missed the kicker, went to the ground, was sliding across the ground. Kicker came down on top of him. And he barely hit the kicker's foot as he was sliding. Mm-hmm. And of course the kicker fell down, did the soccer drama.
Flopping.
Yeah. So, we had 3 unforced errors. We had the missed field goal, the bad punt by Pena, and then the personal foul, or the roughing the kicker foul by Stewart, which, God, I know he felt like crap. He's such a, he's trying to make this team so bad, and he hustles out there and he plays and he fights every time he gets out there. And he thought he had that one, which he was pretty close. And then ended up giving them that first down, allowing them to get that last field goal. That one hurt. And then, at the beginning of I think it was their second drive, might have been their first drive, second drive. They had two big plays by Marquise Galloway. Drove them down the field, kicked field goal. And then after that, they didn't have no big plays. Mm-mm. They did not have any plays other than those two. I mean, we shut them down. Their run game, doing what Kamara have. What were his stats?
Kamara had 11 carries for 18 yards. So
Good
he
Lord.
averaged 1.6 yard a carry.
That's Alvin Kamara.
I know. His long was 8 yards. Taysom Hill had better. He was their leading rusher with 33 yards. He had a 3-yard average. 11 carries. His long was 9 yards.
Yeah, see, we shut them down, man, their offense. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to Molly about this Sunday before the game. I was like, one of the big things that all the defensive coaches that I've heard they talk about is that their defense is extremely proud of their run stuffing. That the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is number one in the league and has been for 2 years. This is the third year straight that they've held that spot. They're not in that spot now. This game probably helped a little bit, but I think they're in third place. I don't know. I have to look at the stats. Anyhow, so I was telling Molly, I said, I think that our defense is really going to focus on stopping the run because we gave up way too many yardage against the Bills. What did we give up? Like 170 yards? And our guys don't like that. So we're going to shut down the run. We did that, but we just couldn't do anything offensively. Godwin was hurt the second quarter around 12:43, so he basically only played one quarter. Jalen Darden, I do not like his kick returning. Just don't like it.
No, I don't. He doesn't run straight.
No.
He runs horizontal.
Yeah.
And you're like, what are you doing?
Well, he'll get the ball and he'll have 15 yards in front of him. Now, if you run straight, you got guys running at you and you run straight, y'all meet in the middle. That's 7 yards you're going to get. But he doesn't do that. He gets the ball, and like you said, he'll run towards the sideline. And he'll get tackled and only make 2-3 yards. And it's just so frustrating. He tries to be too shifty back there. Mm-hmm. In the second quarter, Brady was sacked on third down. First quarter, Brady was sacked on third down. And then Brady was sacked on third down. We were in field goal range, and he got sacked. And that put us, further back. And then Suckup got out there, kicked the field goal, and missed it. So if he wouldn't have got sacked, Suckup probably would have made that field goal because he would have been 7-9 yards closer. And then in the second quarter, about 3 minutes left, 3.5 minutes left, Evans just disappeared. Mike Evans, a hamstring injury. Nobody saw it. It wasn't something. It wasn't a contact injury. I guess it just cramped up on him. Fournette played well, I thought. He was getting good yardage. Then Brady was sacked again on third down. And we were in field goal range then too. It would have been a long field goal, I think 56 yards at that point. But then he got sacked for 7 yards, and that took us out of field goal range. So that was twice now. Sacks screwed up our field goal.
Yeah, cost us points.
Yeah, so we had to punt it in their territory. we were basically at like the 50. But we did punt it. We had a great special teams play there. We punted it and pinned them on the 1. Mm-hmm. But that was right before halftime. So all they did was basically just kneel on it. Mm-hmm. They did that rugby scrum type thing, got out to the 15, which...
That was smart.
Yeah.
More people.
Well, yeah, we thought that the play was over. You look at our defensive guys, but they didn't blow the whistle. We stopped them, and our defense guys kind of let up, and then all of a sudden they pushed by, and everybody was looking like, what are they doing? So, third quarter, That bomb to Darden, he just didn't try to catch it. I don't understand that. That's what you get paid for.
Yeah. And he was supposed to be our speed guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they got him.
Yeah. Yeah. And, when you get a chance to go out there and be play with the first team, you gotta lay out for stuff, man.
Yeah. Make the most of your opportunity.
Exactly. And then very quickly in the third quarter, Fournette left with a hamstring. He ended up doing the splits on that tackle. And
oh, was that what it was? I didn't see I didn't see what happened.
yeah, well, and again, he went out. Ronald Jones came in, and then Fournette tried going back out, and they called him back in and held him out for the rest of the game. He wanted to go back in. Mm-hmm. So that's two players who wanted to go back in and could have gone back in, but weren't allowed. Bucs went for it on 4th and 1, and this was in the third quarter with about 5:55 left. They went for it on 4th and 1 and threw a bomb to Gronk.
And is that the one that he should have caught? It was right there.
That hit him in the stomach?
Yeah.
I don't think that was it, but I'm not sure. But anyhow, my point being, I understand a risk it, no biscuit.
Yeah.
But,
quarterback sneak it.
Right.
At that point.
They did the same thing on the third and I think it was 3rd and 2. It might have been 3rd and 1. We went deep. I'm just like, I don't get it, man. When you're this close, you got to try to get some points. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you're trying to make splash plays. See, at the third quarter, with 4 minutes left, it was our 12th punt in the game. The 12th punt, not just ours. We had 8 punts. They had 9. There were 17 punts in this game.
Good Lord.
Nobody could get first downs. Excuse the coughing. Let me see. Then that's the fourth quarter, or not fourth quarter, third quarter, but it was about 4 minutes left. That's when Ronald Jones came in, popped off 2 great plays. One of them was like 30-some yards.
Yeah, he had a 30-yard run. That was his longest.
That was the longest of the night for both teams.
Yeah.
And right before that,
Callaway had a 40-yard
run.
No, not a run. A play.
And the play right before that, he had gotten a first down with like a 12-yard run or something. So, he was killing it out there, and then he disappeared. Gassed. Come on, man.
Yeah.
We can't have that.
Yeah.
No, it was 2 minutes left in the third quarter was when Gronk got hit in the stomach with that touchdown pass. What? He looked very strange out there. He had like no energy, like he was in a fog or something.
Yeah.
I mean, even after the plays, he just kind of, with his head down. I saw that a lot on our offense. Guys walking around with their heads down.
They didn't want to get yelled at by Tom.
Yeah, right. And then it was right after that. On 3rd and 7, we were at the New Orleans 24. Brady got pressured. He scrambles, fumbles. Kappa was beat by Davenport on that play. Mm-hmm. That was Davenport that pressured Brady. So Brady runs out and just gets the ball popped right out. But we were in field goal range. So that's 3 times right there that, the pressure on a quarterback cost us field goals. 3 times.
I mean, we would have been tied at that point.
We would have been leading at that point. Mm-hmm. They didn't have 9 points yet. They were still at 6. They didn't get 6 point or the 9th point until 7 minutes and 32 seconds left in the game. That's when they got that 9th point. Ah, man, I was so furious at that point. I was so mad. Then right after that. No, wait a second. Let me see. We stopped them. And they had the punt from their 22. So the score was still 6-0. Then they stopped us, and then Pinion punted, and it was that 30-yard punt from our 36. So that means they started at their 36. So they got relatively decent field position a lot in this game. At least 2 or 3 drives that were past their 30. Not that it helped them any. Okay, third and 3. They have the ball. It was 3rd and 3. This one just pissed me off so bad when I saw it. We played that damn soft zone coverage. 3rd and 3, guys. We dropped 4 guys back on the line, 10 yards deep in a line. I don't know what that defense is, but I'm just not a big fan of it. On 3rd and 3, we dropped back 10 yards on 3rd and 3 in zone coverage. So they just threw it underneath, and the guy got first down. It was infuriating. It was like, now see what the New Orleans Saints does for the most part. They play that very physical man coverage, that press man coverage with 2 deep safeties. That's what I like. I want more of that. Seemed to work for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyhow, 3rd and 3, the 4 defenders dropped deep, 10 yards. They got the first down. It should have been delay of game on that play, too.
Yes,
Yeah.
that one, and even the announcers were talking about it.
Yeah, it was a good 2.5 after it hit zeros.
Mm-hmm.
And you heard somebody from the sideline shouting, game clock, game clock. It was very weird. You could hear a lot of stuff on the sideline. I don't know if it was the way they had the mic set up or if it was, I don't know
really
what it was.
Quiet.
Yeah, they did shut that stadium up. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Then 26 Adams at 8:14 had that almost interception. God, if he would have got that would have changed the game because it was still 6-zip. We would have got the ball, could have scored a touchdown. Ugh. So anyhow, after that almost interception, they kicked their 42-yard field goal, make it 9-zip. And then on our next possession, guess what happened on 3rd down?
Sack?
Yes. Can you believe that? I mean, I say it all the time. All sacks are not the same. But this game, all 4 of their sacks were extremely beneficial to them. All right, 4:59 after the punt, the Bucs start on the 3-yard line. So we started on our 3-yard line with 5 minutes left to go. It had to score two times. On that play, we went for it on 4th and 4 on their 9-yard line, which I was like, at this point, I had no faith in it. I was like, we're not, and we didn't. We threw it to Gronk. It didn't even get anywhere close because he got pass interfered, and they finally called it. That's the one Brady ran over to the ref and said, it's about friggin' time.
What am I paying you people for?
I'm taking you off my TB12 program. And then with about 3:55 left, Johnson had a great catch on the sideline. He picked us up a first down plus. That was a good one. And then 3:52, the very next play, Keyshawn Vaughn, wide open in the middle for a first down. Brady throws it. He falls. Keyshawn Vaughn just fell down for no reason. Don't know why. He just fell. He was facing right at Tom Brady. The ball was coming, and he fell. He's like feet slipped out from under him and everything. So that's 4 unforced errors there. 12, not including the 12 drops, which you could definitely count them as 12 as unforced errors, but 4 unforced errors. So that's 16 unforced errors in this game. You can't win like that.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So 3:40, Brady throws an interception.
It's over.
That's it. Yep, that was game. That's when Brady runs over to the coach. And
Was that his fault?
no, I think it was a very good play by, was it Lattimore?
Oh, yeah. No, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
If anything, I think the receiver should have fought for it.
Mm-hmm.
It was Scotty Miller, and he was kind of drifting out a little deeper. The pass was probably going to be a completion, but I think the way Scotty Miller was running, he was going to have to kind of come back a little bit anyhow for the pass. And I think he should have seen that cornerback running to get the pass, and he should have, got in front of him or fought him for the ball anyhow. But he didn't even adjust his movements at all. That's when Brady ran over him. According to Brady, when he was asked about it, he said it was football talk. So that's what
I would say too.
That's when he went over to the coach and had a football talk with him.
Oh yeah.
Then right after that, we got the roughing the kicker, which gave the Saints first down, able to run out the clock. I thought that happened, and then they got the field goal, but no, it was them running out the clock. But we did end up stopping them. They ended up had to punt it again. 79 O'Connor got hurt on that play where Stewart got the roughing the kicker. But here's what I didn't like, and I said this a few weeks ago. Same thing happened. We had 22 seconds left. We're down 9 points. We basically ran the clock out. We did run the clock out. We handed it off to Ronald Jones. He ran it, got tackled, inbounds, and then we just stood there until the clock ran out.
Okay, Ralph. I think you're being a little unreasonable here.
Of course. But I just don't like that mentality of quit. I'm sorry. You got 22 seconds. This is football. Anything can happen. We've seen miracles before.
But this game was... It had enough. We'd all had enough. I'd had enough.
I didn't have enough. I wanted to see Brady throw a bomb.
Because you're a masochist. Nobody wanted to see that.
I just don't like it, man. I'm telling you. That's the second time in a few weeks that we've done this. When was it? The Redskins game? Where we just ran out the clock at the end, didn't even try.
I don't remember.
Just not a fan of it. And then no matter what you say about Schiano, I like the fact that he had these guys trying to get the ball back when the opponent was kneeling on it. If you're within one score, you don't quit.
We weren't within one score.
I know, but we had the ball. So we could have scored and then onside kick and then scored again. In 22 seconds, you could do it. Hell, you could do it in 10 seconds. Mm-mm. I'm telling you, man.
Nope.
I'm just not a fan of it. So anyhow, that wraps up the game. It sucked. It was a horrible experience. The good thing is we haven't had a lot of those in 2 years. So now
well, and it didn't really affect things that much, I don't think. I mean, theoretically, I guess if we lose the next 3 games and the Saints win the next 3, we could be fighting. But does anyone think that was going to happen?
Well, I didn't think this was going to happen.
Yeah, but we have Carolina twice and then the Jets. So, just saying. The Saints have something to fight for. They're fighting for a playoff spot.
Our chances of getting the first seed is pretty dark now.
Thanks to Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore going for 2 points. You know, the Packers will have to lose 2 games and we have to win out. And they've got Detroit twice, right? Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And is that it? I think that's it.
So, yeah. But, I mean, Detroit just whooped up on the Cardinals.
Yeah, they did. How about that?
Like, what was it, 30-13 or something?
Oh, my gosh. It was it that close?
Hold on. It was.
That was a beatdown, man.
Yeah. What's good for Detroit? Well,
which you called it.
30-12.
You called it. You said Cardinals were overrated.
Know. I said, jury's still out. I'm not sold. And they have just collapsed.
Yeah,
it
2
appears.
weeks in a row, just getting beat by low teams.
Yeah.
Well,
so, all right, let's look at the playoff positioning. So, the Packers, and that game was close too. It came down to the wire. Baltimore, they could have tied it, but instead went for 2 and then didn't convert on the 2-point conversion. They were going for the win.
They threw a pass. Dumbest thing I've ever seen. You just scored. You just drove down the field basically on running, and they're a running team.
Yeah.
And you want to do a bootleg.
You got a running quarterback. Yeah.
You do a bootleg and try to pass it.
Yeah. So Packers won on that. So they're the first seed. Cowboys are now the second seed. So we got bumped down a little bit. They have a better conference record, apparently. And then
I know we did this last year. We went to Lambeau Field and beat them. I don't want to do that this year.
No, I don't either. I agree.
You know, we were kind of lucky because it was a nice day when we played them.
What, it had snowed?
It had snowed,
morning.
But it was still like 60 degrees by the time we hit the field or something.
It was cold, but it had cleared up. Like it wasn't snowing anymore. It was still cold.
But it wasn't a horrible day anyhow.
Like 30 degrees. It's all relative. Like Wisconsin.
For Green Bay in, what was that? Late January?
Yeah.
That was a mild day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want. And plus, they only had 9,000 fans in the stadium. They had those little clapper things, but
yeah. You know. Oh no, I don't want to go there either.
Nah.
But I mean, we wouldn't see them till like the championship, maybe.
Right.
Anyway,
like early February.
Right.
Late January.
I'm just saying they have time to get knocked out.
Yeah.
So we're 3rd seed. Currently, we are matched up against the 6th seed, who is the 49ers. 5th seed is the Rams. They are currently matched up against the Cardinals. And then 7th seed is the Saints at 7-7. And they would face the Cowboys. So there's still a lot of football to play. Minnesota is fighting for a spot. And I think that they would overtake the Saints for the 7th seed if they win tonight, which they play Chicago, I believe. And Washington still hasn't played. They'll play on Tuesday. So I think it's the Eagles. If the Eagles beat Washington, that's bad for the Saints. So
if the Eagles beat Washington, that's bad for the Saints.
Correct.
Okay, good. So we root for the Eagles. The Eagles.
Or wait, let me look at my notes. I just said it in the last one. Let me see. Yeah. So we need the Eagles and the Falcons. Who did the Falcons play?
Win. This week?
Yeah. Did the Falcons win?
No, they played San Francisco and got beat.
Okay, so we needed Atlanta to win because of the tiebreaker. So, this was a good week for the Saints. So we just need an Eagles win Tuesday.
And what'll that do again?
I don't know.
It'll hurt the Saints. That's all we know.
Yeah, it hurts the Saints.
Oh, man, screw them.
I know. For real. Yeah, because they would have a better conference record than New Orleans. So they have, if they win against Washington, they'll be 5-4 in the conference, whereas New Orleans is 5-5, so they have one more loss. So that's why. So we need Philly to win tomorrow, which they can do against Washington. Washington's fielding a 3rd-string quarterback. So, you want to go through the news?
Yes.
Real quick? Okay. It's all terrible. So, we talked about Chris Godwin, torn ACL. He is out for the season. Initially, they said it was only going to be this regular season. They did not say playoffs too, so it sounded like earlier in the day there was some hope that he would be back for playoffs, but that has been completely dashed. He tore his ACL and will be out for the rest of the year. Pat O'Connor, he also suffered a season-ending knee injury. He tore his PCL and partial MCL, but he is getting more opinions, so we shall see. Mike Evans, they're saying he's got a hamstring injury and he's kind of day-to-day, and the same. Fournette might miss some time with the hamstring, but he should be okay. It's not long-term. Brashard Perriman should be back, I think. for this game coming up against the Panthers. So that'll be good as far as depth goes. And then BA said they're not officially cutting AB and Mike Edwards, which the media is all in a tizzy about this. BA just said, yeah, it's in the best interest of our football team to have those guys back. They've served their time. So they will be back. And it really couldn't come at a better time, especially with Chris Godwin out and Mike Evans not being 100%. We really do need AB. And it's just silly to think, like, if we had cut him, how many teams would have lined up to sign him? You know?
Yeah.
It just... Any number of teams that we would have seen in the playoffs would have picked him up immediately. So that just would have been stupid. So... What else? Not that Tom Brady even cares, but he was named to the Pro Bowl this year. And it is his 15th Pro Bowl. So he's the only player in NFL history to ever do that.
15th Pro Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. In 20 years. 21.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, how long has he been in? 21, 22 years.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Let's see when he was drafted. 2000. So yeah, 21 years.
So are we officially in the playoffs?
Not yet.
Are you sure? Because, I don't know, sitting here doing the math, I don't see how we can't be.
Not officially.
I mean, we didn't win the division. I mean, yesterday was a hat and t-shirt game, but...
Well, let me see. CBS does not have it, but let me see if ESPN...
I mean, there might be some way that we don't make it, but even if we lose the rest of our games, I don't see how we don't make it. I don't know.
Let me see.
So, yeah, that was disappointing. I really wanted to see us to have the hat and t-shirt game at Raymond James Stadium.
I know.
And, you know, those guys wanted it too. I think they might have been looking past New Orleans. I don't know. I really have no sense to be made of that game.
Till you see the
all 22.
Yeah. No, I don't see where we've clinched anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe there's
I
nothing
don't see
official
where
yet.
anybody has. But this is the CBS playoff thing. It says updated 20 hours ago, so it might be.
Yeah. They might have not update it until after all the games are played.
Yeah.
But just looking at it, even if we lose out, if we lose the rest of our games, we'll be, 10-7, right?
Yeah.
If New Orleans wins the rest of their games, they'll be 10-7. They'll take the division, but we'll still make the playoff. We'll be 7th seed. I can't think of a scenario where 10-7 is the worst we can be. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know how. I mean, nobody. I don't know. Even if the Rams win out, the Cardinals win out, the 49ers win out, Dallas wins out, we'll still make the playoffs. Even if the Packers win out, and we lose out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the Packers are the only ones who have clinched a playoff spot. So we're still in the hunt, technically.
I'm going to have to sit down and go through all of it and see why it is that we're not listed as having made the playoffs. Oh, well. There must be some type of weird tiebreaker thing in there somewhere that I'm not knowing
sure.
about.
Yeah. I think it's just like we have a very good shot, almost 100% shot of doing it, but there's some mathematical possibilities that where we could be eliminated theoretically.
Yes.
Okay, that's all the news that I have.
That's it?
That's it.
Did you see that foul on Baltimore guy when he pushed. I think it was Aaron Rodgers. I want to say it was It was the Aaron Rodgers Baltimore game, and he got called for roughing the passer. And he just like
barely touched him.
Barely touched Aaron Rodgers.
And Aaron Rodgers definitely flopped.
Oh yeah, he did the soccer flop. He was all like,
yeah.
And it's that type of stuff that just makes you go, man, how much longer can this go on? Kind of like with the roughing the kicker call that we got. It's just like, seriously, I understand the rule. I understand the reason why you put the rule in, but this ain't it.
Yeah. Can we get some discretion?
Yeah. Oh man, that was a tough game. I really hated it. I really thought we were going to win. I thought we were going to glide into the playoffs. It might be good for the team, though. You got to look on the positives, see some silver lining. It might be good for them. Maybe they were like me. They were too cocky. They thought they were just going to walk in and, just by the mere presence, they were going to win the game. And then they got punched in the mouth. So maybe now they're like, hey, it's better for this to happen now than in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Yeah, and I think that there were some positives to come from. Like, I think defensively we played great.
Mm-hmm.
So, the defense was the only reason we had a shot in that game, and they played hard through the end of the game.
Yeah.
So, I think that they deserve a lot of credit for that.
I haven't seen any of them on press conference yet. All I've seen is the offensive guys, and man.
Do you think that the coaches purposely do that? Like, oh, you lost us this game.
Get out there.
You gotta go. You're gonna be the face that's gotta, talk to the media.
Yeah, both Brady and Arians were so despondent, angry.
I love Tom Brady's press conferences after a loss.
What is wrong with you?
Because he's got that Bill Belichick like disdain for being in front of the media at a time like that, where I'm just like, and they all know it too, and they're all just like walking on eggshells, and it's just nice to see.
Yeah, you could tell Tom Brady's just sitting there going, I just want to go home and kick a puppy or something.
Yeah.
Get me out
He's
of here.
like, I dare one of y'all to ask me a stupid fucking question.
Well, they asked quite a few, but
yeah,
it's generally
not as many as they normally would.
Yeah, it's their questions always evolve around feelings, which drives me crazy. It's like, well, how did you feel, or what did that make you feel? When how do you think it made me feel, dummy? I'm angry.
I hate everyone.
Pissed. I hate those questions. Can you tell us when so-and-so did so-and-so, what were your thoughts? Tell us your thoughts on that. I don't care about your thoughts.
It's therapy.
Therapy, yeah. The therapy sessions. Man, all right. Well, that was a tough one. We should have an easy one coming up. Carolina Panthers. God, Cam Newton looked absolutely atrocious Sunday.
Silver lining, guys.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get him and take it out on him for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they Panthers, they got nothing going on over there.
No, they got killed by the Bills. That one was like 13 to whatever.
Yeah.
He was like bleeding and limping.
He was bleeding
31 to 14.
He was bleeding from quite a few wounds.
Yeah.
Looked really bad too. He ran a lot. That's all they're going to do with him. I mean, they're like,
that's all they can do. He does not have an arm.
Yeah. Craziness. All right. You got anything else to say?
No, put me out of my misery.
Any last words? Epitaph. Man, that was a tough one. Didn't like it. So, anyhow, we got to, just water on a duck's back, move on. I'm going to look at the All-22 tomorrow, and we'll see if we can see anything that can help us out with our misery a little bit. I'll try to find something to tell y'all, like the Saints cheated the whole time.
Definitely that, yeah.
Which you were calling it from the beginning. You were like, they're holding.
Yeah,
Offensive line.
there was one, that first drive, where the dude had Shaq like up under the pads.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a holding. Never called it.
They're weird with their holding calls anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what's holding and what isn't. It's kind of like pass interference. You never know what is, what isn't. You know?
Yeah.
It's like a catch. You know what is, what isn't. Who knows? All right, guys. Cheer up. Take a day off. Be depressed. But we can't. We got to put on a good face for all the other fans. We're still the world champions. They still got to take it from us.
I know. Like the Saints, okay. What happened the last time they swept us? We won a Super Bowl.
I hope we see them in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. We'll do the same thing.
Same damn thing. I want to do it at their house too. Again.
They won't get it this time.
Nah. That would require us losing out and them winning out.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
That ain't gonna happen.
Not happening.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Let's do it.
All right. Till next time, guys.
Go Bucs.